Does size matter? Let's find out. Exile Prime here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be taking a look at DC Multiverse, Dark Knight's Metal, Batman from Earth -1, Devastator. And if you're new around here, please remember to subscribe to my channel, smash that like button. So now, let's get right into the review. And we're going to start with the box, and obviously we got Devastator, and I gotta say, just from right off the start, it's a very heavy box. So that's a good sign. For a giant figure like this, it should be heavy. On the side of the box, we got Batman Earth -1, Dark Knight's Metal. On the back, we got that nice box art. And then we got some other figures from that line. 2 Wonder Womans, Batman, the Joker, and a GCPD outfit. And then we got Azrael. So, very interesting, but this is what I really like out of all those so far. I think that is the best. It's freaking awesome. So, with that being said, let's get him out of the box and see how heavy he really is. And here we have the Devastator out of the box, and it looks fantastic. The overall detail, the size, the weight, it's awesome. On the back, I can see that there's a couple different colors of gray they have used for this figure. Obviously, like around his shoulders is more darker, and on the back it's more that lighter gray. And then it goes back to dark over here, and then it gets lighter on down towards his elbows, down to his hands. So, and then when you get to the feet, though, the legs, I should say, the side of the thighs are more that lighter color. But then when you get more on top of his quadricep and everything, then it's more that darker gray. So not sure why they went with that. I think they should have just stuck with that darker gray top to bottom, and I think that would have made this figure like near God. Actually, I would call it perfect. But for what it is right now, I still like it. There is a lot of articulation with this gigantic figure. So he does have a butterfly hinge in here for his shoulder. It doesn't go too much, but then the way they made the rest of the shoulder, so you can still do a full 360 around. You do get some nice bicep swivel there, and about 90 degrees there. It's pretty good for the elbow. The wrist articulation is as follows: full 360 for both hands, and then you can bring his hand in just like that, or extend it straight out. So that does give him a lot more range, so you can put him in a lot more posable fighting stances and stuff like that, which would be fantastic for this figure. Ooh, finally got that joint to finally move. That one was completely stiff. But yeah, so we got the open claw hand, and then you got a closed fist hand. I wish they would have gave us an extra closed fist and an extra open hand, just like that, so you can swap them, interchangeable, how you want to pose him and everything. But hey, that's a little bit minor, not so bad. Here's what's left of, yes, this is in fact Batman from Earth -1, Bruce Wayne, and looks pretty good. The suit overall with the detail and everything like that, he looks great. The logo here for the Devastator, but the bat suit is pretty much gone at this point. No utility belt, so at this point he doesn't need it to fight Superman. And we're going to get a little bit more into that in a moment. But let's take a look at this card real quick. Batman Earth -1, Dark Knight's Metal. One more. It looks awesome. And here we got real name, obviously Bruce Wayne. Height 8'10". Okay. Weight 915 pounds. Yeah, I can see that. Crashing into our world from the dark multiverses, Earth -1 comes a nightmarish fusion of the only two beings capable of taking on the Man of Steel, Doomsday and Batman, the Devastator, and an all-powerful creature in which the unstoppable might of Doomsday is combined with the unmatched intelligence of Batman. So, that's awesome. But I think there's a little bit more information about this figure, this character, I should say, that we should talk about. And for some more information other than just this little tidbit, which doesn't really justify why this has happened, why this transformation is, but basically Batman is pushed to his limits fighting Superman of Earth -1, and I mean, he has a kryptonite spear. Superman just he visions, just basically just takes his arm right off, and then Batman's just like, you know what, I don't have no other choice. So he uses his utility belt to inject the Doomsday virus into him, changing him physically to a point where he is basically Doomsday. The overall thing is of this, the premise of it, it just enhances him to take him down within seconds of the fight, because he even gains the ability to, he has kryptonite breath. He just blows that right into Superman's, right in his face. So he just inhales that, and then Doomsday spikes just pop out of him and just kills him like straight up. So I think that's really cool little origin for this particular Batman. The other thing is with the articulation and everything. One thing I noticed with mine, he's really loose, and I'm a little concerned with that. And he does have, a lot of good, torso rotation here. I'm just gonna have to hold my thumb here and my finger on the back, because this bottom half is just like, I'm a little worried about that. Now the good thing is mine's just gonna go on a shelf, and he's just gonna hang up, sit up there with some of the other bigger figures I have. And yes, does size matter? Yes, it does. And we'll get into that in a moment here. But knee articulation, my God, they're just so stiff. But he does have about that much range with his knee. His ankle, though, they gave him pretty good ankle articulation there, considering the other foot. And then a lot more. And then they still got toe articulation as well. So I thought they did a really good job on that. And he does have full rotation as well with this ankle. Let's just get his knee straightened up. Yeah, joints are still really stiff on this figure, but overall I think they did a good job. Kicking forward is just put his leg down. That much. It's nothing special. I'm just afraid pulling on all this, that ball joint in there. I know you just can't see it, but I can with my lighting. Has me a little concerned. So, but that's okay, because he's going to be up on my shelf with all my other bigger figures, and it's going to be awesome. So, let's get some size comparisons in here and see how awesome this figure is. And here we have him, Devastator next to Batman, Last Night on Earth. And he looks pretty good. I'm okay with that. It's alright. It's solid. I made sure the knees are, all his legs are straight and everything, so okay, I can work with that. Not bad. Let's bring in Bane, which he does have Scarecrow attached, because I really don't want to take him off. But hey, that's fine. And just bring his arm down here. Oh. I didn't even do like a pre-recording to test this. Is he really that small? Are you serious? Oh, come on. Really? Look, he's like baby Doomsday. All right, hang on. Well, maybe not. It is Batman's DNA mixed in with Doomsday's. I mean, like the virus. So maybe, you know, that's why he's a little bit smaller. All right, I guess I can get behind this. All right, let me get Bane out of there. I mean, I really like this Bane figure. And I'm not even looking at with Scarecrow, you know, kind of hanging on the back to make him taller. But, all right, I got one other figure I want to test it with. And this is, like I said, in one of my other reviews, this is a Marvel figure, but this is the ultimate test. Oh, God. I think Abomination had a child. Yeah. It's Baby Doomsday. Alright, I'm trying to process this. Isn't 8'10", you're telling me? Hold on. 8'10". Okay, so Abomination is definitely gonna be bigger than that. I would assume. 915 pounds. Okay, I can get behind that. Why is he so small? Why? He's so small. He's a baby. Hang on here. Hang on. Let me bring in Bane here one more time. So if Devastator is 8'10", that would make Bane about a little over 9 feet then, give or take. All right. So we'll say Mcfarlane toys are about 7 inches, but you know they can go beyond that. But what happened to this figure? There we go. I can't even. Let's go more. So he's sitting at 7.5 with the point of his ears. Now if you get the spikes, that's 8, give or take. But yeah, he's 8 with the spike on the ears there. But then you go to Bane, and we're just gonna pull, go side by side here, and we're gonna go. He's like almost 8.5. Seriously? How in God's name? Now, you know what? Here, I'm gonna bring this in too. I don't care. Here, this is how much of a difference it is. You can literally put him behind him, and you can still see him. Oh my God! And this figure's like so. I mean, I love Abomination. He's fantastic, but this is Devastator. Like, he's got to be about the same size, you know, give or take. I know this is Marvel Select versus Mcfarlane, and Mcfarlane's trying to get their stride here, but I can't even get that. Camera adjust, because Abomination is just too big from where I have my camera set. So we're going to try that again, and we're going to leave it in because I couldn't see that. So he's, with his ears pointing, he's like 9.5 from what I can see. But my God, like, why? All right, well, I had my fun with the size comparison. My God, this guy's so tiny, and I got an idea what I'm going to do with him then, and you'll see then if you follow me on Instagram. So I gave this a lot of thought. Overall, before I get to my final thoughts, the answer to the question from earlier in the video, does size matter? In this case, yes. And unfortunately, he does not measure up to that whatsoever. Now, we can use the excuse that part of his human DNA was mixed with the virus, so why he didn't have the full potential size-wise. But, you know, I'm not even gonna even give that excuse. I thought maybe that's what I was gonna have to do. But thinking about it more, the virus should have just transformed him directly into full size. Because if he has the full strength, he should have the full size then. You know, but unfortunately this figure does not. But overall, I mean, there's a lot of cool things. They do get that rock looking detail with the spikes and everything, and some of these spikes are actually sharp depending which ones. These ones up here are more like that soft rubbery plastic. Oh, excuse me, I can't even talk right now. And this one's a little bent. That's because of the package. It's kind of straightening out. And then you got the ones on the forearms here. That's the same. Anything that's this color basically is going to be that soft rubbery, which is pretty cool. Even the spikes on his hands, so these are not sharp. It's the ones on his shoulders here. These are more the hard plastic, sharp ones. But it's pretty cool though. You know, they did a lot of good art, you know, work on this, you know, molded detail wise. You know, there's his toes and everything, his foot. They did a really good job on that. On the back, he's more plain. They mainly focused on the front, which is totally fine. I don't really have a problem with that because when you're posing a figure up on a shelf, you're not posing them like this. So I'm not even going to even knock it that way. I just think that's just not fair, because if they would have had to finish this whole backside, then your price point would have went up and you still would have paid for a baby Devastator. But yeah, overall, like, the articulation is fantastic. The overall paint apps and everything, the molded detail, awesome. So my final verdict on this figure, well, he looks fantastic, but if I place him next to Bane on my shelf, he's going to look too small. So the way to smoke and mirrors that thing would be to keep them on opposite sides of the shelf and kind of maybe get him to stand up on something to kind of give him that extra, you know, lifts in his boots, so to speak, so he, you know, has that height that he's supposed to. So it feels like it's, you know, one of those smaller actors trying to gain some height to make them look like, you know, taller. But yeah, you know, it's not so bad. But overall, you know, the figure's fantastic, and yeah, I got not much more of anything to say. So that's it. It's a great figure, just really small. Thank you for watching.